So here's the next job, to repair both of these. The bottom box is rotten off this one. This one needs new wood and a couple of bars have been cut out of it. So these were feed barriers already there. And now I've made that walk-through feeder. I need to chop, basically that's 4 foot, so I need to chop a couple of feet off each of these. So they're about 14 foot now, so we're back to 12 footers. Thinking now, the chunk's missing here, and this hinge part is a bit bent, so I might chop this side off instead and bring it over here. So if I bring it over here, I only have to make one new bar for here really. Save a bit of work. And I think I need to put a new bottom of this, it's rotten long ago anyway. I'm half thinking that's getting a bit rusty and I got enough steel, so I might chop the bottom out of this, put a new one there, so both of them will last the same as each other really. Because if I do that and not that, that'll be the next one to rot really. I was saying about the bars missing on the other one then. Really on this side, where the bottom's rotten, this box as well as rotten quite thin, and it's bent as you see, so I think I'll chop this side off as well. And really it'll be a good job then, because all the strain is on these hinges, all the weight from a 12 foot onwards. So it'll be better if there's a new box section either side here, and I'll put a new box section on the bottom as well either side. Yeah, I'll definitely chop it, because as you see, this bar's been broken off or cut off at some point and be welding back here. So really if I bring that all over, I can make a better job of this really as well. So this is the gate that was missing the actual bottom. So I said about making the new hinges because a bit of rot at the bottom, but this had rotten a bit as well. So chopped this end off and did the same for everyone, so we're both matching basically. So that's it coming along. New bottom, new ends either side. This one at the top now, they're stacked on top of each other, had the one bar cut in half and the one missing. So 2 new bars in there. And it'll be fine now. So the reason I stacked them on top of each other is, like I said before, you got the first one flat and all set up, and just lay the other one on top of it, and you could get angles for making the new bars and all. So I've added a piece of box to each of them in the middle there, like the feed barrier I made, so it strengthens the whole bottom here. The next job now is to weld it all up from this side, so I can then flip it over to weld the other edges in really. So the next job now is I've got a load of these flat bars to bolt the wood onto. So need to drill these 2 holes in them. And then while it's facing this way, you lay them down like that, weld them on, well it's this side will be even. I also need to fill up these little holes drilled into it, so it doesn't fill up with muck and water etc. So stop it from rotting out really. That's finished off. Just finished welding the latches on this. Only thing with this design, you'll have to cut the handle off to actually change the spring again, but it should last for years really. So 2 spring loaded latches each. So these are spring loaded, so the cattle won't accidentally rattle the gate and open these by themselves then, even. Plus there's 2 of them because there's quite a bit of strain of this when you're putting a big bale against it or cattle against it feeding, so needs a bit extra strength really. So next job is grind sharp edges off it and coat the paint really. So I'm at it now painting them. I've already done one. Now I'm on the second one. I've already painted the underside, flipped it over. Now I'm doing the other 3 sides of it. So I'm on to some woodwork for a change. So the gap at the bottom is 1 foot. So 2 planks fill it up. So 12 foot length and cut in half, and there's a bit of waste above that big really. But it'll be handy for something else. So here we go now. I've marked across here and down here, so I can keep the saw as straight as I can really. So remember now, measure once, cut twice, or how that saying goes. So I just need to get a grinder and trim the bolts down now. But it's pretty much done. So I had to cut out the square out of the bottom ones, so you could actually get a nut on the hinges. See both sides. Talking of feed barriers, I actually splashed out and went for something shiny. So, well, one of them is anyway. So this one now was advertised, not much money and hasn't really seen much use. And I had another one to match it, but it has been used more then, but it isn't too bad. So we actually had 2 feed barriers that were bolted solid to the girders, and the wood underneath had long rotted away really. So we actually make concrete panels that are 2 foot high. So instead of buying wood and it'll rot again in the future, I've ordered a couple of concrete panels to replace them, so fit and forget will be there forever really. So old feed barriers were painted and needed some repairs, bit of rot and bit of damage, and needed straightened and all that. So I actually saw these on Marketplace.
$117.13. We'll call it 85.
Quite reasonable price, and I'm going to change for these. So one thing about these, I'll modify these here, and when the concrete panels come in, I'd actually just take off the old ones and swap them over that same day. So no downtime really. So these new barriers are actually 14 foot 6, and we need to actually, the edge of the girder to edge of the girder is 14 foot 5 and something, so we need to trim a little bit off it. And the brackets come with it, slide into there, and you drill a hole in the middle of a girder, so the web of a girder. Problem with us now, there's a shuttered concrete wall against the girder, so if you drilled it you couldn't get a bolt in there anyway. So you're going to put a couple angle irons, one each side, down here, so it'll face that way, right? Weld that on, drill a couple holes in this, then we'll put it up against the girders and just drill through one to other and bolt it up. This way it'll be just flush the outside of the girder, so nice and out the way really, and it should be plenty strong really. So at it now, cut about 1 inch off each side really of box sections. So that's these modified feed barriers finished with, a coat of paint, and we're ready to go now.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.